The step back turn is a really useful fast turn to master on any size SUP. It's a perfect turn to get that nose around those race buoys quickly, or to ensure you don't miss that fast approaching wave at the beach. It takes a bit of practice and you're probably going to get wet the first time you try it, but the step back turn is a very handy manoeuvre to master. So what is the step back turn exactly? It involves stepping back on your board so your body weight is shifted back over the tail of your board, causing it to sink and your board then to turn or pivot quickly with a bit of help from you and your paddle. Whether you're on a 14-foot race board or an 8-foot surf SUP, it's the fastest way to change direction on both flat water or in surf environments. If you haven't tried a step back turn yet, or you have given it a go but without much success, then here are some handy pointers to get you and your board around safe and dry. Firstly, think about which foot you're going to be stepping back with. For normal flat water paddling, you should be paddling with your feet in parallel position. So you need to first find out which foot feels more comfortable in the forward back position. You're likely to already know this if you do other board sports, but if not, do what feels comfortable first time. But ensure your leash is on your back foot. This will prevent you getting tangled up in it later. Once you've figured out which foot you're stepping back with, then you'll have to know which side to hold your paddle on. When learning, you'll find it easier to hold your paddle on the same side as you step back with. For example, if you step back with your right foot, then you'll probably find yourself most balanced with your paddle on your right side. Once you've got your feet and your paddle sorted, then you're ready to think about the manoeuvre itself. Firstly, move your front foot towards the centre of the board. Then move your back foot back. You'll probably find to begin you'll do this with very small step backs and shuffles, but when you gain confidence you'll be able to make bigger, larger steps. Then remember to keep your feet slightly offset at all times. This will help keep your board balanced in a sideways direction too. Then bend your knees. This will keep the centre of gravity low and help you easily adjust your body position to maintain your balance. How far back to step? Well, the further back you can step, the quicker the board will turn, but the harder it will be to balance. Your aim is to get the tail of the board to sink and the nose of the board to be up in the air, so your board pivots around the tail easily. You may be able to do this in one large step, or you may require a few steps to reach the tail of the board. It all depends on how confident you are with your steps and how long your board and legs are. Once you're in the correct position and your board is sunk at the tail, you're ready to do the turn. To do this, you can then use fast, smaller strokes or larger sweeping strokes to turn your board around. When you then completed your turn, you're facing the way you want to go, then just retrace your steps by stepping forward again and returning to the original parallel stance. A real tip here, as you're also stepping forward, you may even choose to use a brace stroke to drag the paddle across the water to help give you that extra bit of balance. As with any paddleboarding manoeuvre, it is vital to keep moving and use the paddle in the water as much as possible. You and your board will be much more stable if you do this. The step back turn is all about balance between board, paddle and rider, so to play around with the three of those until you finally tuned your step back turn to perfection.